Yo, what is up? It is your boys They're back with the finale to What If Deku Had Paint Magic. I know this series had an amazing run, and I know a lot of you guys very much enjoyed it. Before the video gets started, I just want to also point out that this is going to include, actually this is not going to include any manga spoilers at all. Yeah, no manga spoilers at all. And this is going to mark the ending to the What If Deku Had Paint Magic series. I know this is one of my series, one of my most favorite series of all time. I mean, how amazing was it? Deku could just literally draw any anime character of all time and just like have him do his bidding. I mean, it's completely insane to say the least. But yeah, that being said, I also want to mention one more thing, guys. We are almost at 1K. We almost about to hit 1K, boys. As soon as I hit 1K, I'm dropping a 1K special. That's it. Nothing else to say. Just know that it's gonna be some heat. I hope you guys are ready for this heat that I got ready. And I'm also gonna be, I also have my 2K special planned out, because I know I got big goals this year. I'm trying to hit 7K by the end of the year. And you guys, oh my god, you guys are amazing, bro. Like, you guys have really been here with me from the beginning, and I'm so thankful for what you guys have been doing. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be making this video right now. But that aside, let's go ahead and get into this recap and then get started. So in the last part, we had basically covered, in this order, we had basically gone over the what's called the UA Sports Festival with Deku bodying everyone. Also went over the Stain arc, as well as a little bit of like the internship arc, I guess you could say, with Deku going to Edgeshot and Katsuki going to Torino. Katsuki's a girl, remember that, keep that in mind. That's Deku's girl, you know what I'm saying? Now, Katsuki would have actually taken out Stain by herself, would have also gone into the finals with Deku healing All Might, and All Might basically getting into a battle with Deku, which is a huge no-no. Meliodas had to just slap this boy around real quick. And we also went over the Forest arc with Deku actually using the hyperbolic time chamber to speed up their training. And when it came down to the nighttime attack, oof, it was over, bro. That got bodied in less than a second. Momo would have actually still left the tracker on the Nomu's back, thinking ahead and actually putting it on him herself. And that's basically where we had left off. So let's get into this amazing What If. Deku, as well as the other heroes, would basically just be chilling at UA campus when out of nowhere, All Might would actually burst into class and be like, "Young Midori, I really need your help." And Deku would be like, "Huh, what do you need my help with, All Might?" As All Might would basically ask Deku that, like, he knows that he is far superior to him in terms of strength, and that he actually wants him to help him take out one of the greatest villains of all time. All Might would begin to explain all for one to him, and Deku would be like, "Yeah, of course I'd be down to do this hero raid with you guys." So that would be what happens. Now the hero raid would basically go to canon with Mount Lady and all of them destroying the Nomus, and Deku as well as the rest getting to Shigaraki's bar. Now when they would arrive, a lot of the villains wouldn't be there, since all of them actually ended up getting caught, and Shigaraki would only have a couple new minions that he hadn't actually sent out. So yeah, that's basically what we're gonna get into. Also, boys, sorry if my voice sounds a little like if I'm holding my nose. They double the pro heroes on the other side, giving them like 20 prime All Mights to deal with the Nomus, and Deku would proceed to be like, "Alright, I'm about to hit you guys with a big one." He would draw Saitama. You already know he would begin to draw One Punch Man, and this is when All For One would appear, trying to teleport Shigaraki away. But before he could actually do it, oh wait, Shigaraki. Yeah, Shigaraki escaped. I'm pretty sure Shigaraki escaped. Yeah, he would grab Shigaraki and try to teleport him away, but before he could, Deku would actually end up grabbing Shigaraki and hold him and taking him into custody, with Saitama blitzing in there, grabbing Shigaraki and throwing him across, with Shigaraki trying to decay him. But when he tried it, Saitama would be like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, can you stop touching my head? Like, I get it, I'm bald, but leave me alone." And Shigaraki would be like, "What the hell is this? You bastard, it's not fair." As All For One would appear and to be like, "Well, I guess this is our final battle, All Might." As Deku would say, "Yeah, none of that." Saitama would appear out of nowhere and go, consecutive normal punches on All For One, and that would immediately take him out. Like, there's no coming back from that, my guy. Like, his mask would be destroyed. And Saitama would have gone a little overboard and actually ended up killing him. So, Mans would be dead. Now, in terms of the cleanup, it would have gone by a lot sooner with everybody saying that Deku's going to be the best hero of all time. I mean, he literally just created One Punch Man in front of everybody, live TV. All of the villains would have seen this and been extremely scared of the power that he can have. Like, he can legit draw any pro heroes he wants and just have all of the pro heroes basically retire and having nothing but little drawings of them. And Deku would basically be the strongest, hailed as pretty much a god by kids, and the next #1 hero, or the greatest hero of all time by all the pros. They would have a little bit of a press conference with Deku being asked questions like, what is this quirk? How did he get it? Things like that. Deku would just proceed to tell them that his quirk is called paint magic, and Deku would have actually just told them that he acquired it just like any other quirk. He would tell them that he's just a naturally born hero, even though that's not the case, and they would begin to ask him a couple personal things. Inko would actually be right next to him and be like, yeah, there's some questions that he's not going to answer. Deku would look at her and be like, Mom! And she'd give him that look. You guys know that look. That look that your mom gives you when she doesn't want to say nothing, but you know. And Deku would be like, okay, I understand. Because Deku might be the strongest, but Inko's the strongest when you really think about it. Because that's Mama Midoriya right there. She got full control over this man. So after this, Deku would basically go to Katsuki's house, and they would begin to talk about themselves for a little bit. I don't know if I mentioned that Deku and Katsuki are dating now, but if I didn't, they are. It's happened. Deku would get to the house, and this one day he would actually have dinner with her family. They would begin to talk, and Deku would tell them that, he's one of the greatest heroes. Parents would be so proud of Katsuki for picking the most amazing candidate of all. And they would proceed to go to the room. After this, you could hear a couple noises coming from that room. It would be a little bit like, and Katsuki's parents hearing this would just kind of Katsuki's parents hearing this would just be extremely proud, thinking, yeah, we gonna have OP grandkids. As Deku is clapping them cheeks, he's going crazy. And after this, they would basically get to school the very next day. They would basically proceed to have their provisional license exams with Deku. He ain't playing no games. He ain't playing no games. And 1A class, they ain't playing no games. As I mentioned, the class would have gotten a 1 year in the hyperbolic time chamber. Insane training. They would each individually be pro hero level, and Mineta would have actually grown to be 7'8". Yeah, he's 7'8". I'm not even joking. He's 7'8". Deku performed magic on him, and his quirk actually became the same as it's always been. He's just big. And in terms of Katsuki, yeah, she has 100% one for all, as well as having all of the other quirks that you could get unlocked. She has all of them, every single one of them, no exceptions. Now, in terms of what happens next, Deku would actually just create a couple of drawings. He would basically create a couple of drawings, and the other classes they'd get one-shotted by class 1A. Like, they would try their little crushing of UA, but it's just not happening, man. You don't do that to pro hero level students. Now, as that's happening, you know, the teachers would be like, these kids are insane. As they would just be chilling there all smiling. After this, Deku would ask them all if they wanted to do another little hyperbolic time chamber training, and they would all immediately agree, thinking, oh, I can't wait to do this, but at the same time, I'm gonna lose a year of my life. And Deku would tell them, no, I actually figured I could draw somebody to make you guys look younger. And Deku would proceed to create somebody with a time power. Yeah, he would create Whis. Whis would come out of nowhere, and he would basically revert them back to back before they even went into the chamber in the first place. So they would now look as if they had never done anything in the first place. And they all were like, can we actually go back to like how we were before this? And Deku would be like, sure. Whis would do it for them. Now, after this, they would basically all proceed to just be told about the big three. The big three would walk into the class with Mirio telling them that He has power! With the rest of the class just being like, Deku could take you out in like 2 seconds, so don't talk to us. And Mirio would proceed to try to body them just like he did in canon, but it's not happening, man. They have the same amount of experience that you have, plus they have 2 years of just training. Nothing but combat training, quirk training, and going crazy just practicing together. So they are all beasts. Mirio would try. They would dodge his attacks, use their quirks in synchronous, and would take him out in a matter of seconds. The big three would actually have to all take out Class 1A, and they would actually be having a very, very, very good battle with Tatsumaki, I believe, using his Sun Eater powers and actually going crazy with that shit. In terms of everybody else, Todoroki would basically begin to whoop ass as Uraraka uses her float quirk to now fly into the air and maneuver herself as easily as possible. This is when the rest of the class would basically proceed to body the big three, and they would just be like, okay, you clearly don't need experience, but you're still gonna go to your internships. And everybody would go as they did in canon. Now Deku would basically ask if he could go with Katsuki, and he would go with Sir Night-Eye, with Mirio telling him that he should do that as well. Now I'm just gonna say it, Katsuki and Deku would proceed to hit the during that most of the time that they're there. And as soon as they get there, Night-Eye, there's no such thing as, oh, you're not worthy of one for all. It should have been given to Mirio. Fuck you, Deku. No, there would be none of that. Like, Katsuki would actually have it, and he would be impressed since he knows that she has 100% mastered, as well as 7 extra quirks. Yep, manga spoiler. Sorry about that. And, yeah, that's basically how it goes down. Deku would proceed to, what's it called? I bit my tongue. That hurt. Deku would proceed to basically smile and make Sir Night-Eye laugh by creating one of the greatest, by drawing a comedian that just... Who's the comedian that I should draw? You would draw Kevin Hart. Now Kevin Hart would come out here and just start telling one of his jokes like usual, and Sir Night-Eye would fall. He would begin to fall on the ground laughing his ass off as this man is just sitting there trolling, just telling any joke that he can think of. And Sir Night-Eye would love these kids. Like, he would immediately fall in love with the 2 students, Deku and Katsuki. After this, they would basically go on patrol with Mirio, and this is when the Overhaul would come in out of nowhere with Eri by his side. Eri would run at Deku, and Deku would catch her as he says, "Hey there, little girl, are you okay?" As she would just be terrified, hugging onto Deku as Deku looks into the alleyway and sees Overhaul. As soon as he sees this, Overhaul would see Deku and have an immediate, just, I gotta go. He would not be trying to fight Deku at all. Like, there would not be any hint of him. He would actually try to whip out one of his guns and shoot him with a quirk erasing bullet, but Deku would dodge it immediately with his flight and would proceed to draw... Who we gonna use to body Overhaul? Goku. Goku, mastered Ultra Instinct, would appear out of nowhere. Super Saiyan 100 times Kaioken times Infinity would appear out of nowhere and clap on Overhaul's cheeks. He would not all over this man. Now Overhaul would actually be trying to, do something up against Deku's Goku creation, but I'm sorry, it's just not happening. It's just not happening, Overhaul. Like, it's just not. Like, it's inevitable, like Thanos. Overhaul would proceed to get taken into the interrogation, and they would actually find out everything that Overhaul would have actually done to Eri. After hearing this, Deku would actually be sick to his stomach, thinking, how could you have done this to this little girl? What has she ever done to you to deserve that? As Deku would proceed to create Whis and actually begin to erase all of her... No. Who's somebody who can erase memories? Nah, he would create Minato, as Minato would appear out of nowhere. Like, hey. As he basically sweet talks Eri and then erases her memory back to before she had any of those experiences. He would have basically create a fabricated memory of Eri being adopted by... Who should adopt Eri? The police officer. Yep, the police officer, Tutsimaku. I don't know. The police officer, the friend of Alma. We all know who he is. She would actually be adopted by him, and she would actually go on to live with him, with her actually getting trained for the next couple years on how to use her quirk. And by next couple years, I mean, Deku would throw her in the hyperbolic time chamber, and she would basically get time skipped to when she's 15. So this means she's in 1A. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's in 1A. Also, boys, I forgot to mention, in terms of Shigaraki, he got taken away over, one for all for one would have actually been taken out. So there's no such thing as the manga fight that happens. None of that happens at all. Like, even if it did, Deku could just go back in time, even if he wanted to, with Whis' powers. Deku could just have Saitama, Goku coming out of nowhere and just all over these guys. You know, like, it's not a competition. Like what are you gonna do with your little decay quirk, bro? Like, get out of here. Anyways, Deku would erase the memories out of Eri, and Eri would go back to being a normal little girl. Deku would be happy about what he did. I mean, he basically just helped this girl's mental state, and Eri would actually be very grateful for what Deku's done, since Deku put some memories of him saving her from a villain attack that never happened, but he would just go along with it. Now, what would happen next would be that they would have the UA festival, which was hosted just like in normal. Now, just like in the normal version, Deku actually would have forgotten the couple of things that he had done in canon, and Deku, knowing that he could actually draw them right now if he wanted to, would decide to just be like, Deku would actually begin to freeze time. Deku would freeze time as he then draws a couple, all of the objects that he needs. He would draw a clock. He would rewind it slowly, freezing everybody, and touch Katsuki, freeing her out of it. And this is when Deku would proceed to... And after that, Deku's in an amazing mood. Now, we're just going to go ahead and skip all the way into the actual festival. As soon as the festival starts, everything and everybody would have been going good until halfway in. When Class 1B is giving their play, Gentle Criminal will appear out of nowhere, trying to interfere. As soon as Deku sees this, he would not be on any games. He wants Eri to be happy. He wants the crowd to see that 1A is the greatest hero school of all time. And Deku was not having any of this. He would freeze time, rewind back to before he had actually done what he did with Katsuki, and would basically proceed to create a bunch of heroes, just tightening the security, as well as creating Goku, Saitama, Meliodas, Minato, Madara Uchiha, Itachi Uchiha, Kuro Sensei, Nagisa. He would create everybody, like just any character that you could think of, he made, and it would just be beautiful. Deku would proceed to just have them tighten the security, and in terms of Gentle, that doesn't happen, my guy. Like that, it does not happen. Like how is he gonna break in there with all of that security? Gentle would have actually been wiped from the earth because Meliodas was in his assault mode, and he was playing no games. He murked this man instantly. Nobody would have actually known about this, so that's why we let this slide. And in terms of what happens after this is basically going to be marking the finale, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed the series as much as I did. And with that being said, Deku and Katsuki end up getting married. They create one of the greatest hero agencies of all time. And Deku and Eri actually ends up joining in on that action. Eri actually gets in that same agency that they're in, and they're known as the Big Three, with Deku and his girl and his wife, with Eri being more of like the little sister role playing in this. No crazy shit, no freaky shit, boys, because we not with Eri. We don't do that to Eri. Just saying, we do not condone that. And yeah, that's basically what it ended up happening in terms of the ending of the series. Deku becoming a hero would basically mean the destruction of the villain society. There'd be no more such thing as villains in the world, since Deku would have actually gotten rid of that. Like, there'd be nobody who could stand up to him. But with that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. This has had an amazing run, and I just want to say thank you. With that being said,